Hey, what's up, everybody? It's DJ back again with another GUDS video. I appreciate y'all tuning in. As a reminder, this video is going to be about different types of gardening tips, how to grow different fruits, vegetables, and produce and whatnot. But for more information on that, go ahead and just check out my last video. I'll put a link of it in the description. Before we get started, if you guys can like this video, subscribe to the channel for more. Hit the little bell notification so you know every time I upload a video. For this one, I just wanted to show you guys what my setup was going to look like, what I'm currently growing right now, how I'm going to grow things going forward, and then possibly how to germinate some seeds. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right back into it. All right, so getting into the setup, here is just a pretty traditional raised garden bed. It's 8 feet by 4 feet and then about 10 inches tall, but pretty simple to put together. I just went to a local hardware store, got some untreated wood just so the chemicals wouldn't seep into the soil. Got it cut into the right size and then put it together with deck screws. And if you look a little closer, I actually marked off about a foot on each side of the bed with those deck screws. Reason for that is so I can use rope or some string just to kind of mark off exactly where I want to plant different things, just to keep it a little bit more organized and make sure that they're spaced out properly. Then getting into the actual mixture that's in here is 50-50 mix of topsoil and manure. Reason for the manure is just so I can have a lot of nutrients that can actually feed the plants. There's a couple different ways you can mix soil, but I just wanted to go with something simple. Manure, topsoil. You can see it's a little bit moist right now. I've been working it over the last couple weeks just to make sure there's no pests or no weeds in it. But you want to make sure that you have as much nutrition in the soil as possible, and it's different for different plants. Then going to, and actually excuse the yard, working on renovating that right now, so it's a little spotty, but it'll look good in a few months or so. Going into a couple other setups or a couple other items I've been using. This is a tomato cage right here. I believe it's about 2 by 2 feet wide once you actually pull it out and extend it all the way. I didn't grow any tomatoes in it last year. I used cucumbers, and it's about 3 feet tall, so it's pretty long. You're able to grow some pretty long vines on it. But I use it for cucumbers. You can use it for anything that pretty much grows upward. These are also tomato cages, more of a cone shape. Last year I grew some tomatoes in it, I believe, and cucumbers and some watermelon as well. Then back here, some pretty just simple regular plastic pots. Got multiple versions of them. This one right here is a 3-foot pot, so you can grow some pretty large plants in it. Going to the next one, it's about a 2-foot pot, so decent sized plants again. And then this is about 10 1-foot pots. You can put peppers, tomatoes, multiple different plants in there, strawberries, some herbs as well. I use that just so it's a little bit more space, and it's not taking up too much space in the actual garden bed. And then here is some compost. As you can see, I threw some limes and some carrots and some banana peels in there recently just so it can go ahead and decompose. Then getting over to this other area, I'm actually going to more than likely dig this up a little bit and then build another garden bed about the same size, 8 by 4 feet. And what I'll probably do is just make another video about exactly how to get the wood cut the right way. How to actually put it together and then how to fill it up with the proper soil. It's a pretty simple process, and I just like growing things in the garden bed. It just keeps things out a little bit easier. So just to recap that setup, got the garden bed over there that I'm gonna build, pots right here, and this garden bed, and we can go ahead and look at some of the other stuff I'm growing right now. All right, so here's some seeds that I'm currently germinating. As you can see, the tomatoes have already started sprouting a little bit, and each row is pretty much something different. For this one, heirloom tomatoes planted on February 8th, 2020, so about a week or so ago. But as you can see, they've already sprouted. 2 sprouted, and pretty much all of them. I planted 2 seeds in each, but 2 have pretty much sprouted in all of them. A couple of them only have 1 that's going to sprout, but I think the other one should come up eventually. Then, like I said, each row is something different. This one right here, I believe, is habanero peppers, planted on the same day. Going on to the next one, I believe that is, wait for it, celery. Yeah, so that's celery right there. Then tomatoes again, of course. And then for these, I believe these are the actual pineapple strawberries. So these are the yellow strawberries. I think they taste a little bit different. I never actually had them before, but I figured it'd be pretty cool to grow. So we're going to see how that goes. The next one, I believe, are just regular strawberries. I planted a whole lot of seeds, and I think they're actually starting to germinate. Just can't see them yet. But those are just regular strawberries. I'll be able to transplant those here in the next few months or so. Going to the next one, I believe, are jalapenos. Just for peppers, it's better to plant them as early as possible in January, February. That way, once they actually get of size and it gets warm, you can go ahead and plant them outside. And then these are the bell peppers that I've been growing. I'll have multiple different seedlings once they all germinate, and then I'll just have to kind of thin them out a little bit more and then plant them once they get a little bit warmer outside. But for the bottles, it's pretty simple. I just repurposed the water bottle, and I'm gonna make a video later about how to take a water bottle like this, cut it into the different shapes, and then actually be able to use it to germinate. And if you look inside, it's a little mixture that I have. Keep it moist, keep it humid as possible, just so the seeds can actually germinate properly. But like I said, I'll make a video a little bit later about that, about how to just take a water bottle. Pretty simple process, but just take a water bottle, cut it into the right shape, and then make it basically like a small little greenhouse for you. Getting over to some other things that I'm currently growing right now. These are some apple trees that I planted. Never really grew any type of fruit tree, so this is pretty new to me, so I'm learning as I go here. But it's been growing pretty healthy so far. As you can see, these are Fuji apples planted back in September of 2019. Growing pretty well so far. Pretty long process to actually get them to germinate. And I actually repurposed another bottle. It's a Simply Lemonade bottle that I drilled some holes in, cut it up, got the seeds germinated in this one as well. But like I said, not really familiar with growing fruit trees, so I've been reading up a lot about how to grow them, what kind of nutrients they need, and how to keep them safe as possible, keep them healthy. Here's another one planted about 2 weeks after the previous one, but a Honeycrisp apple. I'm excited about how both of these are going to turn out. It'll be a few years before I actually get any fruit from them, but I think it's worth at least trying something else out, growing something that can sustain and have food for a long period of time. Here are a couple of citrus trees that I'm currently working on growing as well. And the red cups, these are all oranges. So I believe I have 3 oranges trees that I'm growing right now. Valencia oranges. These are the ones that people actually use for orange juice. So if I get some fruit from this, hopefully I can start an orange juice company one day. We'll see. But yeah, pretty simple process here too. Just germinated those seeds inside the house and then use simple solo cups. Repurposed the solo cups, put pot and soil in there, and then got the seeds to germinate and grow. Here's another Valencia orange. It's a smaller tree right now, growing a little bit slower, but still looks pretty healthy. This is more of a medium-sized one, but all 3 of them look pretty healthy so far. And then going into these right here, they're my actual lemon trees. Planted these back in July of 2019, and they've been growing pretty healthily so far. Slowing down just because of the temperature right now, but it's still growing. So here I got I believe about 10 total lemon trees growing at the time. But I'm gonna try to keep them alive as long as possible, and hopefully start giving them out and giving them away to people that want to try their hand at actually growing some lemon trees. This one's pretty cool. Looks like it's growing off on 3 different shoots, so I think I'm definitely going to be able to keep that one planted and see kind of how it processes and how it grows going forward. But I'll make a short video on how to actually germinate the fruit seeds as well, even though those are going to take a lot longer before you actually reach maturity and actually get some fruit from them. But either way, I think it's a cool process, and want you guys to stay along on this journey to see exactly how it develops. Going back to the actual water bottles, I'm gonna make a video a little bit later about like I said earlier, how to actually repurpose these, cut them open, drill holes in the bottom of them, put the right type of mixture in them just so they can germinate properly, and then reusing the top again just to make sure it stays humid and has the right temperature that will actually let the seeds actually grow and sprout and be as healthy as possible. So that being said, I appreciate you guys watching this part of the video, and let's go ahead and get to the end of it. All right, thanks guys for watching my video. In my next one, I'm gonna show exactly how I change the water bottles and repurpose them to be able to use to germinate seeds. So if you could just go ahead and like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification so you know the next time I upload a video. All right, peace.